is retired Detective Sean. Welcome, Sean.
Hello there. How you doing, Leah?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you very much. Appreciate being on the show.
Hey, thanks for being involved in this. I really appreciate it. This is something. I'm sitting here still in shock about all this. If you would, can you give our viewers a little bit of a backstory about you? Like, what intrigued you about this case? What can you remember about it when you yourself became a police officer? Like, what was some of the things that you checked out about this? Because I know this intrigued you too because of your story you're about to tell.
So let's go back to 4th, 5th grade, Indiana, Pennsylvania. I lived at 3th Street, Indiana, Pennsylvania, which was just off of what they called North 4th Street. The next street over was Chestnut. So I would catch a bus there every day at a gas station, Sunoco, right on the corner of Chestnut and 4th. It's not there anymore. But then when I came back from East Pike Elementary School, they would drop me there, and then I would walk the 2 blocks home. So 1981, I was dropped off at the bus stop, and I was dropped off with Mike and Dave Bem. They lived, I could show you the house they lived at, Leah, but, you know, whether or not it's important, I don't know. But anyways, I was dropped off at the gas station. I walked about 4 houses up on the first block, which were the Bem's house. So the Bems went home. As I continued to walk, suddenly a van traveling northbound on North 4th Street pulls over, and the guy reaches across, opens up the driver's side door. So now you got to keep in mind, now I'm probably, 10, 11?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Somewhere in there. Guy reaches across the van, opens the door. But what I remembered about the van, oddly enough, was that there was a mural on the side of it, and the mural was a skier. So I saw that first with that, the 70s van bubble window in the upper left, passenger side. Guy opens the door, and I see several candy bars laying across the passenger seat. I remember Twix and Snickers for certain. I don't remember anything beyond that, but there was a number of candy bars or candy bags laying on the seat. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something to the effect of, do you want some candy? I know, you just got home from school, you're hungry. It's free. Come up and find something. And I said no. And then he continued to push and said, hey, listen, just pick whatever you want. It's right here. And it's free. I know you got to be hungry. And I took off running. I ran, a block and a half, I guess, to my mom and dad's house. Just discussed this with my mother last night. She remembers specifically the day and also this case. Because in her mind, she linked what I saw, the mural on the van, with this case, which still to this day, she described the girl that's missing. So,
right.
There's that. But anyways, I ran home. I told my mom and my dad. They called Indiana Borough Police. Indiana Borough Police responded. Now, skip forward, 10 years. So you and I go to the police academy.
Right.
My first job is Blairsville Police Department. So I work 8 at night till 4 in the morning. I'm on a permanent foot beat at $5.75 an hour. Nobody can imagine that now. So I was sitting there one night at about 2 in the morning. There was nobody around, and there was a great big 3-ring, a clipboard totally full of wanted posters. And I thought, well, I'm just going to flip through these. So again, we're talking 2021, 1990, 495. So I'm flipping through these posters, and all of a sudden, this poster flips up that is a 1970s van, Chevy or Dodge, has this skier on the side of it, and it's one in connection with a missing girl. So now you got to keep in mind, that was years and years later, but even regardless of the fact that it was years later, I called the number on the poster, and I said, listen, you're going to find this hard to believe. I'm a police officer now. But I know where that van was in 1981, Pennsylvania, and that same van tried to stop me as I was coming home from school one day.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how I got involved in the case and never forgot it.
Right. For me, that was one that always stuck out because, again, I was 14 years old when Cherrie Mahan went missing, and me becoming a police officer myself, it just boggled my mind always. Like, when I had downtime, I would see, is there any updates? Did anybody find her? Did they get the person? What's going on? And every year, it was the same information being put out, same article in the paper, very few leads or anything new that's been brought to light here. So when you told your department about this, where did it go from there?
A little interest. I didn't tell my department. I called the number at 2 in the morning when I found the poster for the state police barrack, and honestly, I don't remember what barrack it was, but I'm sure that poster's still out there. We can find it. I called them, and again, I had very little information. I had a description of the person that I saw driving that van. I thought there was a second person in it. There may or may not have been. And I told them that without a doubt, that exact same van I had seen, and they tried to pick me up in Indiana, Pennsylvania in 1981. I guess to their defense, I didn't have a whole lot of information, but what I did have was a location, an area, and at least a 1-year time frame when I could tell you that the van was there.
Fast forward now to me getting involved in this and kind of bringing new light to this case. Upon you and I talking, like I said, I didn't tell nobody, not even.
You didn't tell me either, so I had no idea.
No. And I'm,
working cold cases. I couldn't agree with you more. So the next question would be, where is the DNA?
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be there somewhere. What do they have from the case left?
Exactly. Chain of custody. Where is it?
Right.
Where is it? So like I said, I hope that this gives a new perspective of things, and how this transpired and how it happened. And then, like I explained, last night on the video I did on YouTube, we didn't have the resources that we do nowadays. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media, we weren't able to jump on something and start, networking with people and making things go viral like we can now. So I can understand how this has gone as far as it has, because like I said, we didn't have change for a payphone. We weren't talking to nobody. Not as easy as it is to pick up your cell phone and, just text or call somebody or whatever. So in your experience with these cases, with cold cases, and I know you've worked on one before, and I am going to let people know, if you're okay with me plugging you, with what you have done for a family. Sean has made an appearance on the Discovery Channel. He was involved in a case out of Salisbury, Maryland. Am I correct?
What's the county, Maryland? Christine Shetty.
Okay, Christine Shetty. Yes, and he was the one that broke the case. So if you haven't seen it and you have access to Discovery, I think now you have to pay for it. I think it's a paid service now. So, but if you do have access to it, jump on. I think you can, there's a couple links on YouTube that you can watch it. So check that out. It's very interesting. Do you have any questions for me? Like, I feel like we're like picking up like where we left off, like in 93.
Well, that's what we do. That's what friends do.
Yeah.
So we've been in touch on and off for years.
Yeah.
And I've always been interested in cold cases. You have always had some psychic ability in cold cases. So we have discussed this time and time again. Missing persons in Confluence, to this girl, to, a number of other people. So yeah, we have a kindred spirit in that. I'm not a psychic. All I can do is what I see, and what I feel and what I believe. So I think the combination of the two might actually get this done if we can get some DNA.
I agree. You have to have that evidence. Like I said, I am one part of the puzzle. And like I said, that's when you have to decide whether or not you're going to call somebody in like me who does have the legit, I'm going to say legit, okay? Not the...
Well, I believe it's legit after our conversation, 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
So you sent me a picture, and we won't discuss it much further than that, but right. I can tell you that what you saw and what I saw being there was identical. And I definitely am interested in working cold cases. So if I can help you at all in any way, shape, or form, let me know. This one just happened to be a one-off because I ended up being a victim as well as a witness, as well as, a police officer years later. So
I know this is crazy. I mean, I don't know any other word to describe it other than this is just how this happened is just crazy.
No, you got the right guy.
Thank you. I 100% believe I do too. I believe I do. I hope this helps.
All right. Well, whatever help you need, you can give me a call.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome, hon. Anytime.
Yep. Take care. Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.